2, 1.
7 things you probably didn't know you need to know. I'm Jamie East, and this is the Smart 7.
Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, the 25th of November, and it's Thanksgiving. And a big happy birthday to Christina Applegate, Doug Ray Scott, Dominic Cummings, and Jocelyn Brown. The ongoing migrant crisis in the English Channel took a terrible turn on Wednesday as a boat capsized and sank, leaving at least 27 people dead. Prime Minister Boris Johnson chaired an emergency Cobra meeting in the wake of the tragedy, and he pointed the finger squarely at trafficking gangs who make money from smuggling people across one of the world's busiest shipping lanes.
It's so important that we leave no stone unturned to demolish the business proposition of the human traffickers and the gangsters. Now is the time for us all to step up, to work together, to do everything we can to break these gangs who are literally getting away with murder.
Labour's Shadow Home Secretary Nick Thomas-Symonds was pointing fingers at the government, saying that the issue needs a much wider view, including tackling the problem at source.
It really now has to act as the most tragic of wake-up calls to make sure that people are not out on the water in these terrible makeshift boats. We need that wider joint law enforcement work with the French authorities to be disrupting further away from the coast. And in addition to that, we do need to look at safe and legal routes.
Back in the House of Commons, Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer was focused on the issue of social care, challenging Boris over whether he'd just lost his place in his script and coining the potentially damaging phrase dementia tax for the new social care plan that will leave out council funding from support payment calculations.
He's picked the pockets of working people to protect the estates of the wealthiest. How could he possibly have managed to devise a working class dementia tax? It's another broken promise. Just like he promised a rail revolution in the north. Who knows if he'll make it to the next election? But if he does, how does he expect anyone to take him and his promises seriously?
Boris stuck to his guns, however, insisting that his plan does more for those who need it most.
This does more for working people up and down the country than Labour ever did, because we're actually solving the problem that they failed to address. We're disregarding your housing asset altogether, Mr. Speaker, while you're in it.
Another big trial reached a verdict in the US on Wednesday. This time, 3 white men were convicted of murder of 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty.
He was killed on February the 23rd last year while jogging through a white neighbourhood. The father, son and their neighbour who chased him and ultimately shot him are all facing the prospect of life in prison. They also face federal hate crime charges next year. The killing gave rise to social protests and the resurgence of the Black Lives Matter movement. Ahmaud's father spoke to the press after the trial and says he doesn't want to see any family have to go through this.
We conquer that lynch mob. Yes. For real, all life matters. All life. Yes. Not just black children. We don't want to see nobody go through this. Amen. I wouldn't want to see no daddy watch their kid get lynched and shot down like that. It's all our problem. Yeah. So, hey, let's keep fighting. Amen. Let's keep doing it and making this place a better place for all human beings.
Labour MP Stella Creasy brought her 3-month-old son into the House of Commons while speaking in a debate. That resulted in a formal letter telling her it's not acceptable to have children in Westminster Hall. After she complained, Speaker of the House Sir Lindsay Hoyle has announced that he'll ask the Procedure Committee to look into the matter. But Stella says with this type of system in place, mums can't win.
I don't have maternity cover. So if I don't have my child with me and I don't go in, then my residents in Walthamstow don't get heard. But yesterday I was told I'd committed a parliamentary faux pas in bringing my 13-week-old baby. So he's very tiny. And I think it's just a representative of the way in which often if you're a mum, you can't win. Because obviously if I had maternity cover, it'd be a different issue. But I don't. And I don't want to shortchange my residents.
Still to come on the Smart 7, happy days for Man City and an alcohol haze for Kevin Hart. Right after this.
You're listening to the Smart 7. If you're enjoying it, you might also like the Smart 7 Ireland edition. Just search and follow us on your favourite podcast platform. It was another busy Champions League night with Liverpool facing Porto and Man City taking on the potential new manager of Man United, Mauricio Pochettino at PSG. Liverpool won easy at Porto 2-0 to make it 5 wins from 5 in this European season. Things were a little trickier for City, with PSG taking an early lead before Gabriel Jesus sealed a 2-1 win for City. Pep wasn't too worried about what happens next with Man United, but he was pleased to see Man City qualify for the next round.
For I think 6 years or 7 years in a row we are qualified for the next round. So for all the club, thank you so much for the fans. Today was amazing. What we lived before, during, and I think after. And it's just one step. So we are qualified for the team is good. The English football, all 4 teams are in the next round. And now in February we'll see the draw, and now focus in the Premier League.
Kevin Hart has a new Netflix show on the way. It's called True Story. It also stars Wesley Snipes, who plays Kevin's fictional brother. Kevin plays, and this sounds like a bit of a stretch, a successful comedian called The Kid, who regularly appears on Ellen's show, and then things take a dark turn. Anyway, back to reality. He popped up on the Jonathan Ross show to tell a story about his own 40th birthday party, which he struggled to remember too much of.
I got too drunk, so I think I left probably about an hour and a half after it started because I couldn't stand no more. So I wasted a lot of money. I passed out on the couch in tuxedo. My wife has no patience for my drunk behavior, so she leaves me wherever I am. So I had something to eat as I was coming in, but I woke up with like a half-chewed sandwich on my neck. Yeah. And I woke up and I was like, well, I might as well finish it. I enjoy myself, John. I have no problem laying in my misery.
There's a second series of the hit show Euphoria on the way. It stars Zendaya, and in fact it won her a Best Actress Emmy for her portrayal of teen addict Rue. It also stars Sydney Sweeney and Storm Reid, but if you haven't seen Series 1, just be warned, it's not really a laugh a minute. In fact, even Zendaya's warning it might not be much of a fun watch when it drops on Sky Atlantic in the new year.
When you're younger, everything feels so permanent. But as you get older, you begin to realize nothing is. And everyone you love can drift away.
This has been The Smart 7. Wherever you're listening, do us a favour and hit the follow button. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Have a great day.
Written, produced and published by Daft Doris.